javelins, freelancers, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another report from Anthem Universe. I am but one of your hosts, Ogaz, and today we're going to take a look at Anthem Comics. Now, you do recall probably in recent episodes we reflected on the Anthem art book because there was news that dropped about that in November. There was also some news about the comic book, which we didn't reflect much on, but given the nature of the recent content in Fort Tarsus, in the stream in particular from BioWare, and in particular seeing Yarrow in place, I thought it would be worthwhile just jumping back and talking about what this comic book's about, what can we expect, and maybe what are some hopes that we've got from it. Now, hopefully for some of you, BioWare comics are probably no surprise. Dark Horse has worked on Mass Effect, they've worked on Dragon Age. Some of you might recall in previous special editions and collector's editions, you often might get one bundled in. In fact, I remember a very good one with Mass Effect 3 bundled in with Yarrow and the Asari, and introducing some new characters in terms of Mass Effect. So it'd be an interesting way, I guess, to tell a secondary story or an additional story, and hopefully we'll get to see something like that, because they are working hard, Dark Horse, no doubt, on that, and of course the Anthem art book, which is coming out. I mentioned that in a previous episode, so something to think about. Comicbook.com and Dark Horse have actually dropped the details in regards to the Anthem comic, and the artist confirmed on this is Eduardo Francisco. Now, he is the artist behind Infinite Crisis, Fight for the Multiverse. Now, if you don't know who that is, that's okay. I was a little bit au fait with the name myself until I looked it up and went, I know this art. And if you take a look at this comic, I am excited just from the title. We haven't seen the comic, of course, or the pages itself, but the cover page, at least from what we can see here, is something very impressive. I love this design. It's nice. Now, here's the lowdown. The biggest details that we've got on this is that it's going to be a 3-issue comic miniseries. It's being served up as a prequel to Anthem's main story, and I think it might provide some additional insights to fans, considering this is a brand new IP. I'm kind of surprised this actually exists, by the way. I mean, it's good for for creating additional material and content, and of course revenue for the game. But it's it's a new IP, so it's good to see. I guess hopefully it's going to hold up to what our expectations will be. Now, joining Eduardo on the art, we've got writers Alex Freed of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story fame, and Mac Walters from Mass Effect Foundation, and they're going to be the driving force behind this story. And with a pedigree like ME and Star Wars, I think we should be okay, but let's wait and see, of course, as we approach the new year. Now, the action-packed cover, if you look at it, it provides some interesting insights into an encounter we've got between a ranger and a handful of scars. It's the go-to poster boy, or poster girl I should say, for Anthem, so it's not surprising to see Ranger on the front, and it's really become that familiar archetype. But of interest is what's going to be inside the cover. In particular, they've mentioned the story focusing on a young boy named Kismet, who was rescued by the now retired freelancer Yarrow. So we know Yarrow from the stream, and as I said, Yarrow represents the old guard. He's the old guard of freelancers. He's going to be the guy in your story that's not going to let go of the past, and I'm interested to see what kind of agent missions we're going to get from him. Anyway, this comics are going to center around a boy called Kismet who was rescued by Yarrow in the earlier days. Now, it'll be interesting to explore the date setting of this comic to understand how old Yarrow will be, and indeed what part he will play in the greater miniseries, if at all. Will his challenges and perceptions stand? Will it be of a nobler time, where the freelancers are more cherished and respected? Maybe they're not the washed-out gurus that we see today. Regardless, the focus of the tale appears to be set to follow the journeys of the orphan Kismet and his sister Janny, in the hopes of fulfilling their dreams amongst the harsh realities of the Anthem world. Now, this mirrors some stuff we've been talking about a lot in the Anthem Universe Discord. If you want to check out the lore channel in there, it's discord.anthemuniverse.com. You click on the lore, and a lot of us have been talking about expectations around the story, and our good friend Bad Badger, in fact, the enigmatic Bad Badger, wrote a story that very much mirrors this idea of a child inside Fort Tarsus. So I love the idea that we can explore, a child's eyes of Fort Tarsus, right? And I'm not talking about running around being a badass in a javelin suit. We're talking about a kid, an orphan in Tarsus, surviving with his sister and trying to get through everyday lives. So that might sound a bit boring at first, but it might give us some insight into what Fort Tarsus was, and maybe to why the freelancers have ended up as they are today, and the lackluster excitement, around them in the world. Are we going to see more gorgeous artwork from the wall? More Fort Tarsus? Is there going to be spoilers in this? Are we going to see the jungles of the continent of Mirrors? Luscious environments, rivers, action? How will this translate to comics? Is the cover art actually representative of what we're going to see? There's so many questions, but something I think worth exploring. In reflection, it's unexpected and refreshing that this is actually even happening. It's also telling for the future brand. It's evidence that BioWare and EA are driving multiple mediums to drive multiple revenue streams and see how this will stick. And I think no doubt in February we're going to find out indeed how well this new franchise does stick, and of course ultimately it's going to be us, the gamers, who will define the success of that. Anthem number 1 of 3 drops on February 27 and is available for pre-order, as is the art of Anthem from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Puffin Australia, and a few other locations we'll put in the comments. Javelins, freelancers, I'm Orgaz, and we will see you next over the wall.